Welcome everybody back to another episode of Gambling Nights. I am the host. I am the CEO. They call me Moss Money, and I got my guy with me. Be humble and them threads, them fresh threads. Dell State. What is going on, boy? I see the Dell. Was it the Hornets? Dell State Hornets.
Sir. Yes, sir.
Showing the colors, showing it. Oh, I see it.
Hey, Red. Hey, Red.
Hey, Red. Hey, Red. What's up with the colors, man? What you repping the alumni for, man? They got a game or something? What's up?
Hey, man, football is here.
Yeah.
And we open up this weekend. Delaware State making a nice travel to the sunny island of Hawaii.
Yo, them jokers missed the flight. Hold on, what are you talking about? They gonna make the game?
Hey,
What's
man,
up?
listen, man. You know, sometimes things get a little rough. You know,
I ain't never heard that joke before.
Man. We might have to trek over there. You know what I'm saying? We come from the mud. Listen, I don't know what happened logistically. I don't know what happened logistically, man, with the Delaware State football team heading to Hawaii. Their bus, I think they said, showed up 2 hours late. They never made their flight out of New York.
Mm-hmm.
So they had to push it back to today. I believe they made the flight, so they're on their way up there. I think they were dancing around via their Instagram post in the airport, you know, still excited to go and have this opportunity to play at Hawaii. I mean, you know, this is one of them trips that you always look for, a free trip to Hawaii, obviously playing football.
For sure.
Get there a little bit early. If you ever played college sports, these are good moments.
Did you play? Did you what was the farthest y'all went when you in your year? When
we
you
had
played?
a couple games, San Diego, I played at Qualcomm Stadium.
Okay.
For a classic game. Played in my backyard here at the vet. That was an awesome moment.
Yeah.
Never nowhere near in Hawaii. I mean, those are just moments. I mean, salute to those that made the team. I mean, that's making the travel roster. Unfortunately, those that did not make the travel roster, I'm sure they're pretty upset. But better late than never.
Mm-hmm.
They'll be out there representing, and I want to give them all the luck and praise. Do y'all thing, regardless of what may happen out there. Just ball out and do what you got.
I think they like 20-point dogs.
A little more than that. I think they're a little more than that.
A little more.
A little more than that. But hey,
you put money on them Hornets.
If there's a fight, we out there.
Oh, okay, you just a rah-rah speech guy.
I'm gonna sit this one out. Coming off a 1-10 season last year. I don't think I'm going to be behind them.
1-10.
I'll be there in spirit. Obviously, I'm wearing my threads to represent.
Mm-hmm.
Big time opportunity for these young guys that want to make a name for themselves. You play well, you start the season up well. Hopefully, some NFL scouts will be out there. Obviously, who doesn't want to go to Hawaii?
Right.
You know, you make a name for yourself. Put it on tape. That's all I got to say. Put your stuff on tape, guys. Ball out. This is your big opportunity. Obviously, good opportunity for the school. Get be on national television. The only game that's going to be played on Sunday, so it's going to be nationally televised. And you know, then we get back to the full season, and hopefully we can make some damage in the MEAC.
Yeah, I saw the threads. You know, what I mean, I had to throw something else. You know, what I mean, we get right into it. You know, getting right into the stories. So I wasn't expecting to start off with Dell State, but
baby, let's go.
But we'll start off with Dell State. I like what you said there, and that's crazy that they missed the flight. Like, I can't even imagine what that locker room was like. when you look at it, you're like, yo, did we just miss the flight?
They just missed the flight.
Like you just look like, yo, you know what I mean? Like
Yep.
I'm mad. I was trying to go to Hawaii too.
Right? That's an extra day too. They out there could have been on the beach today. They could have been
Yeah.
chilling. You know what I'm saying? You don't get a lot of downtime. I mean, your time is pretty much like
So
capped up when you're up
so from a head, so we was betting this game.
there.
They missed the flight. So they miss what, a whole almost day.
Probably 2 days, really, because they supposed to fly out yesterday. I think midday. I think it's what, almost a 12-hour flight. I don't know how long that flight is.
Somewhere in there,
Yeah,
the
it's
10
like
to 12 hours.
Yeah, 12-hour flight. Right. So you're gonna have jet lag. You're gonna be tired as hell. So you really missed almost a day and a half to 2 days. They won't be ready really probably till damn near Friday, Saturday to just get adjusted to the time. And that's including just the big eyes being Hawaii. Obviously, a lot of people, I'm sure a lot of those guys haven't been to Hawaii. And then wanting to be everywhere, wanting to hit the beach, wanting to see the sights. You missed a lot. That one day was huge. It's a terrible situation, but hey, games on
And
Sunday.
they play Saturday.
They play on Sunday.
They play on Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. They play on Sunday. So they might be okay. They might get a day to kind of reacclimate to where they at. Okay. All right.
The problem is I think Hawaii's gonna be much better than they normally are. I think the coach out there got them boys kind of riled up. I think this is his second year. They
Okay.
got a quarterback there. I can't think of his name right now. Who's pretty solid. Be honest with you, I got team total over wins for Hawaii this year. So I think they're going to actually make a little bit of impact and possibly make a bowl
is
game.
Timmy still there?
Timmy Chang, I believe, is still there. Not as a head coach. I don't know. He's still out there though.
Yeah, Timmy's a legend.
Yeah. So, it's going to be tough.
He was great at one point too.
Yes, he did. He did. It's going to be tough sledding, but hey, I'm gonna be behind my guys in spirit, not by couch. Not by
all right. I think I gave too much airtime to Del State.
No. We can talk about Del State all day. Represent the HBCUs, baby. Let's go.
Yeah. 1 in 10 don't get no airtime. All right. So we got a great show for y'all today. My man Shorten showing the colors, obviously former Del State alumni. But we got more stories to go, real stories to talk about. Let's start off with the GOAT himself talking about today's football. So I got a quote from what he said today, or whatever that interview with Stephen A was, about you're no longer learning a program. You're learning a playbook. It's just a tragedy that we're forced these rookies to play early. We've dumbed down the game, which has allowed them to play early. It used to be thought of a higher level. And then he went on about how the NFL affects college and then college affects high school. Got a chance to listen to the article on the Fanatic Fest, I think it was, where he really kind of talked about the quote about what he thinks about modern day or where football is right now today. From obviously the NFL level and how the skill level is not what it used to be, how the development is not what it used to be, how in college, how these guys are moving around. You don't play up, I'm going to go play somewhere else. And how what's going on and how that translates to high school. And we're kind of seeing that in high school where guys are really just becoming their own brands. I was just talking to my man. His kid is 6U, 7U, I think 7U ball. And like he's already forcing himself to coach. Now, he used to be a former player, played at Westchester, played at Kings, but he's coaching. He's now going to start coaching because he wants to make sure that he can control whether his kid succeeds because he sees talent, more talent than what the other kids are around him. And the kid, my little cuz, August is doing well, but I reminded him, like, let the kids play, let the kids have fun. You know what I mean? Like he talking about, I'm sitting down watching film with him. I'm like, bro, he's 7.
He don't even understand what he's looking at.
Yeah, well, he going to now. You know what I mean? But like, it's almost like they're breeding them to play. And I actually completely agree with Tom Brady and what the state of football is. What's your thoughts on where we are and what's looking at into what modern day football is and how the greats really aren't that really great no more in the league?
Yeah, I've been on my soapbox about this plenty of times. I mean, salute to Tom Brady. Obviously, if anybody can say it, he can. He has all the accolades and backing to say how he feels, how the game has changed, or whatever his opinion is about football. He's the greatest of all time. The work has been put in. So salute to him to have this stance, especially as he's turning a chapter in his career and he's going into more television. So his opinions got to be probably a little bit scrutinized. And he's just saying, hey, I'm going to say what I want to say, regardless, even if I am an analyst of this game, of the NFL in the future. So salute to him and holding this down. I think he's absolutely right about it. I think the only problem is 'cause what he's saying is factual, right? It
Hmm.
starts at the top and it trickles down at the bottom. So I was just watching Hard Knocks, right? Obviously, everybody knows about Hard Knocks. There's different layers of it now, but this is a summer camp for Chicago Bears. And I was thinking in my mind, I'm like, man, 2001 Hard Knocks to 2024 Hard Knocks is night and day. Like these dudes look like they have vacation. I'm gonna be real with you. I know everybody's fighting for a job. I know, you know what I mean, it's do or die. But these dudes look like they're on vacation in 2024, these camps. And I've noticed that versus 2001, these dudes was focused, like hard nosed, like I'm getting after it every single play. It wasn't a whole bunch of smiles. It was about business. These dudes laughing, joking, and having a great time. And good for them because the game is developed, is not as, I don't want to say as tough or as physical, but his game has come a little bit spread out because that's the way they want the game to be. So you don't have to have that full focus. I got to come down and punch you in the mouth. I got to be a, I got to be so brawlic and kill you every single play. These guys are best friends.
Hmm.
Um, but it's also become a money thing too. These quarterbacks
Absolutely.
are getting paid a lot of money, and it's not even the first contract because the first contract is capped. But they don't have time to really sit like Tom Brady was able to sit and wait his opportunity because by the time the next contract comes up, now you're going to pay them like these big dollars. You know what I'm saying? Example: New York Giants. How do you pay Daniels that type of money? You paid him that type of money because you almost had to pay him that
I'm
type of
about to
money.
say they were forced to pay him
They
that
were
money.
forced to pay him because there was no other opportunity out there at
Yeah,
the quarterback position,
yeah.
and so
And
they're
it's
now
New
forced
York
to have to,
too.
and you have to pay 38 million. He's not worth a penny of that 38 million. So it's just one of them things where I think Tom makes a good point how the game has changed. Unfortunately, the money is so big right now, is almost forcing these guys to have to play early to at least see what they got, so they know if they need to invest with that person after their first contract is going moving into the future. And that's what's happening. Does it tear up the game of football? I guess we'll see. I think we're right in the beginning of the phases of the change.
Yeah,
And
I
then
think the rules and the speed of the game and things have changed. I don't know if it's for the better or not. They're kind of playing with different rules. Obviously, with the kickoff, it's been completely changed, but I think they're talking about changing kickoff again. And I think that it's hard to say because as linemen, you hit every play,
yeah,
right? So has the game physically changed? Maybe from a skill position, yeah. But the big boys up front, the big uglies up front, we still bang every day. Pause. So no diddy. Um, but at the same time, like I feel like people have gotten faster.
so, so let me I don't want to, because I want to stay on that topic because you're right. As big fellas up front, D linemen, D ends, D linemen, D linemen, offensive linemen. But you got to think about the way the game was played. It was more heavy on the run, downhill football, double tights, probably a fullback. When we played, it was a physical upfront game.
Yeah, but even if they did that now, I don't think anything would really change
Well,
up
they
front.
don't do it now. That's why we don't have defensive ends no more. Guess what we have now?
Well, the positions changed.
There we go. That's what I'm saying. We have edge rushers now. They're not
Yeah,
defensive ends. They're not responsible for certain things that we were
but
responsible back in the
but
day. Because
they're just different. They're more athletes. Like some of
right,
your edge rushers were all state running backs.
that's what I'm. But that's the difference because the game has changed. So it's not as brolic and downhill like a running back like Jerome Bettis coming downhill or Eddie George. For me, Brandon Jacobs, uh, Cadillac Williams.
Yeah,
Like you
but
don't have
those
those
are
type of dudes.
throwbacks, though. We don't have bell cow running backs anymore. It's
That's
only
what
a
I'm saying.
few.
That's why the game. That's what I'm saying. So the physicality up front has become more speed driven. So you told me we had a conversation offline. We were talking about combine numbers, right? how O
Yeah.
linemen are not bench pressing over 25
That's because
reps a
they got
time.
off the juice. I mean, let's keep it a bean. These cats getting blood tested left and right, man. They
I think
can't be
it's
on the
more.
sauce no more,
I
man.
think they more want an athletic lineman versus the run stopper. You had to have run stoppers.
You can tell your ass all that shit you want. They got off the juice. I don't care what anybody say. They got off that motherfucking sauce. I
But
don't care. I don't care
I
what.
didn't want you to move past that one. So I think the game has changed to be more of a athletic game, more
Yeah,
not as physical. Definitely not as physical.
yeah. Yeah, I mean, I think from a skill position perspective, but I mean, maybe not like you don't have true tough guys maybe up front like you used to anymore. You know what I mean? Like from what we remember and what we saw. I mean, we talking about stories like Ronnie Lott going in the back, cutting his pinky off and coming right back in the game. You know,
Oh yeah, that man, that
Eddie
person now
George playing with
they might be out for 6 weeks with a pinky.
like Eddie George playing with a separated shoulder and going and using that shoulder to continue to play.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I think the physical violence of the game has changed, but the rules have also dictated that as well. Obviously, more points, more turning game. The NFL favors offenses.
I feel like,
Obviously.
it's so funny that we talking about Tom Brady. I feel like all that shit started with Tom Brady. I ain't gonna hold you. I feel like everything that changed when Tom Brady got hurt. Once that
What
tuck
the low,
rule, the low
what
blow
the knee,
rule
the
with
low
the
knee.
knee, I think that once he changed, the whole system changed. Then you had
The
the
knee,
concussion
the knee
all
is tough. The knee is tough because it's funny. I was watching. There was on the gram. It was highlights of Peyton Manning's 7 touchdown game, and he would stay in the pocket. Like Peyton wasn't going nowhere. He was staying in that pocket.
Mhm.
And when and it was a couple of those touchdown passes where he got cracked throwing the ball, and I'm okay with that. But just thinking about like that, I do agree with the rule that you going under somebody's knee while he's throwing. Like that's tough, bro. Like that plant leg forward
Listen,
and
bro,
well,
we played before all that shit. I ain't going. I don't no sympathy
300,
for none
but
of
you
it.
talking about
We
300 rolling into your leg, bro.
I don't care. We played through all that. I was
That's
smacking.
that's tough.
We was at least a 2 seconds to hit the quarterback after he threw the ball. Like
That's tough.
just to let him know you was there. Like
Oh
the,
yeah.
you know
Now
what I'm
that
saying?
shit,
So,
that stuff, like I'm agree with you on that. But the Tom Brady rule where he got hit low in the lower the leg, like it's almost like it's like baseball, right? Like if you're going to throw a ball at somebody, don't throw it at their head, throw it at their body. You know what I mean? And it's the same thing. Like with football, hit him up top. Don't take out the legs. You know what I'm saying? Like that, that's the only thing I think. Like even when a receiver crossing the middle, take him out on top. You know what I mean? If he's looking for the ball, don't hit him in his legs.
listen, man. You want to talk? You know how we were. The
I
linemen got
know,
cut.
I
We
know
got
how we
cut all
were.
day long. We got cut backside, cut our legs. How about our legs?
Oh yeah, yeah.
We was
Chop
getting
up. Yeah,
cut,
they used to get
chop
chopped,
block,
and then
crack
the linemen
blocks.
would roll. They would roll
Listen,
through your
yeah,
leg.
like come on.
Yeah,
I don't have no sympathy because I paid through that shit. The
yeah,
game
yeah,
has
yeah.
changed. So, but I'm saying I think it started with Tom Brady. I think that was the beginning of all these changes. Obviously, it's for the better, the safety for the players. But now we're seeing the fallout of how the game is. I'm telling you, when I watched Hard Knocks, boy, I swear they on summer vacation. I mean, I'm telling you, look at 2001 Baltimore Ravens. I believe it was a Baltimore Ravens Hard Knocks, and
Bro, you
look at
talking about the old one
2024.
Ravens,
I'm talking
bro?
about the '01 Ravens.
Bro, they had people locked up on that team. Come on, man.
Hey, I'm just saying it
Come
was
on, dog.
it was sweaty. It was tough.
Come
It
on,
was
man.
it was
We have real
drained.
murderers on that team. Come on, man.
These dudes out
Convicted
here
felons.
having practice, and then they going right out to have a good time. Like that wasn't happening back in camp. Like
Come
camp, you was
on,
done.
man.
You
You
barely made
can't
it
do
back to your
that.
room. These
You
dudes going out
can't do
on.
that, man.
These dudes going out
That's not
having.
fair. That's not fair, man.
I'm just saying what it is.
All right, man. All right. So next story on the list that we was going on, man. We'll stay in football. I want you to listen to this. This is from the Nightcap out there with Shannon Sharp and actually no. I'm sorry. Well, I'll stick with it. The Nightcap with Shannon Sharp, Ocho, and your boy Noah Lyles talking about actually lining up.
Mm.
Lining up. and see what it is against Tyreek Hill. Take a listen.
Oh, we forgot it. Tyreek say he wants some of you, Noah. I can't believe you know who Tyreek is. Don't do that, Noah. You know who Reek is.
I'm gonna be honest, I forget his name all the time. I'm gonna be honest. If it's not about track and it ain't about League of Legends,
that boy's a loser.
I got what I expect.
He said, "Come get some."
Hey, I'm gonna put it like this. Tyreek is just chasing clout. The man, anytime somebody fast comes up, he says he wants to race him. If he really wanted to race people, he would have showed up like DK Metcalf. And the man raced in the 60 meters this year in the Masters division. The man dodges smoke. I don't got time for that.
All right, so let's just pause there. He first started off saying he don't even know who he is if you get his name, but he know the motherfucker. I'm sorry, I'm cussing too much. He know the Joker played raced in the Masters in the 60 meter. Right. He knew the heat and he knew the category.
He know his name.
He know who he is.
Reek is well known in track and field. He's well known.
Well known. Yep. All right, let's continue.
I like it.
Reek. Hey,
Reek. Hey, Ricky calling you out.
Hey, you know what? Let's get a couple. Hey, let's see if we can get some sponsors. Would you be willing to race Reek in a 60 or 100 if we got some sponsors to put some money up?
He's challenging me.
Well, see, you got to do 60. 100.
We can race if he's serious about it. If he's truly serious about it. I'm not talking about you just talking on the internet and you ain't actually coming to me and talking to my agent.
All right, let's pause right here. What the hell is going on in his background, dog?
That's why he don't know Tyreek Hill.
Like what?
He not running track. He not really.
Well, we got Lego houses. Now I know I'm not trying to hate on the Lego community, right? Because one of my cousins, she be heavy in the Legos, right? But I'm just trying to see what's going on here, bro. I don't know. What's that? A bow on behind his our left upper corner? Is that him on his own Men's Health magazine? You know what I mean? I wish I could zoom in and see what some of that literature is on the bottom right. I'm not sure. You know what I mean? But we got some questionable things. Because this ain't a virtual background. This is his real background. For sure. It's a real background. It's not virtual. You know what I mean?
He's into that anime stuff. He's into all that.
That's cool. That's cool. Like That's fine. I was in the anime, back in my day. I can still have a conversation. He does have a tangerine open up button up too, by the way. So question what's going on there. All right, let's finish off the interview they're having.
And saying let's set something up. You are seriously about it. You'll see me on the track.
Ooh. All right.
Right.
There he is, ladies and gentlemen. The current fastest man in the world.
All right. What you think about this, bro?
I think
Noah Lyles says he's going to race Tyreek Hill.
What I got out of everything, I got Shannon Sharp working on his another career on being a promoter because that boy is promoting probably a big opportunity to make a lot of money. I think everybody will tune in for Tyreek Hill and Noah Lyles. Especially if
I ain't paying for none. Let's get these sponsors popping.
Let's get these sponsors. That's what he said. But hey, hold on. Let's pump brakes though.
Okay.
Shannon Sharp and Ocho Cinco. We got to salute those guys
for sure
on their show. Great show. They're doing their thing. They're leading a lot of what we even want to do, right?
Absolutely.
But at the same time, they held their word with the Olympic guys. Those that won gold medals, they sent them the cash. They said they were going to give them. I think it was like $25,000. They were going to give any gold medal.
I remember seeing something about that.
And they held their word. They've been sending them checks out to those guys that got gold medals on the track. Salute to those guys. Salute to Shannon Sharp and Ocho Cinco for doing that and saying about their word. Now, back to this. Come on, Noah. Come on now.
Come on.
Now, you want to race the 100? Can Tyreek, will it be a competitive race? I think it will be. Tyreek is a fast motherfucker. Okay? I don't know if he's Noah Lyles speed, but I think they are very, very similar. You got to think that Tyreek is doing this stuff with shoulder pads, helmets, grass, thigh pads. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like he's not on a track.
They're not gonna let him race, bro.
Why?
Bro, if he pull a hammy.
No, this will be after, I think it'll be after season. I think I'm not gonna do no time.
After the season.
It'll be like the gap. It'll be like the gap after season.
Because Rick already talked about retiring.
He wants to race him. He called him out.
Yeah.
So obviously it'll be after the season. They aren't going to do anything during the season.
Yeah, I was about to say it's too close to the season.
I would pay to see that.
You would pay to see it.
I would pay if they put it on pay-per-view. I'll pay to see it.
Really?
I would.
Have they ever done that with track? They never done that with track.
Probably not. But I think Shannon got his own to something. Get some sponsorships. Put it on NBC. Put it on something. Put it on pay-per-view. I don't know. I think it'd be interesting. You hype it up. You talk it up. Yeah. I like to see it.
Yeah, it's money there.
Netflix, for sure.
It's money there because you could watch Tyreek get ready, get in some type of track shape. He will.
Good background documentary.
Yeah.
HBO,
Absolutely.
everything. Yeah,
absolutely. I think they said 60 meter. It sound like indoor track numbers. It don't sound like regular outdoor track. Like they run 60 in inside, right?
I don't know what that was. He said some of the 60 meter in one of the events.
Yeah, 60 is indoor. Because I believe it or not, I used to run track back in the day.
Oh damn.
Yeah, 1 to 200 Mount Airy, stand up. You know what I mean?
Shit, how long ago was that?
Next question.
Jeez.
Yeah. Yo, man, because I don't know if you ever ran, but they used to give ribbons.
Mm-hmm.
I used to get. I remember getting the ribbons. I ran up at I ran in the pin relays before. I made the 100 semis with my time and got smoked. I got smoked in the 100. I remember that. I felt so deflated. I felt so bad.
That's when you stuck the football. That was it.
Yeah, but I won the 200 though. Not at the pin relays. I won. My best race was the 200.
It's a tough race.
But it's just get off. That's why I was a good. Football player because of my get off, and I could hold the speed. You know what I mean? I could get off with anybody off the blocks. You know what I mean? Them Jones was narrow though. You know what I mean? The metal Jones, man. But
I don't know about that track. I was always pretty fast for my size, but I wasn't running no track.
Yeah, well, I was fat, young boy, so they put me in track to lose some weight.
Gotta do what you gotta do.
Didn't work. Didn't work. All right, I think we still on the football flare, man.
Hold on. Who you think will win? Like, you ain't telling me what you think. What do you think? Tyreek Hill, Noah Lyles, and 100.
And 100? Oh, Noah. I'll take Noah.
What about a 60?
I'll take Tyreek in a 60. See, I think Noah catch him. That's my thing.
Yeah, like 200, I know he can't win in a 200.
Yeah,
100.
I think Noah. See, my thing is, I think Noah would catch him. I think Tyreek would get off before him because Tyreek has that not even just track speed, but he has that explosion off the line. You know what I mean? And I'm not saying Noah doesn't, but it's just different. It's just different body types. But I mean, Noah glides too, man. Once he opens up the stride, you know what I mean? It's a wrap. It's just like Bolt. Bolt wasn't crazy off the line, but once he hit top speed, it was a wrap.
His strides was crazy too.
His stride was crazy. So he was silly. GOAT, really, to be honest.
Yeah, I agree.
You know what I mean?
Before that, we had Michael Johnson, gold shoes. He was nice like that too.
He was.
But Usain Bolt was just something different. What you sipping on over there?
This is a Money Pot podcast, not Money Pot betting, but the original Money Pot podcast, original OG Steve-O. This is his drink. A little bit of port, a little bit of tequila.
Port and tequila. Taylor Port?
That's that uptown boogie. That's what they call that. That's that nice town uptown boogie.
Warm too. It look like no ice in there.
Oh, it just melted away. No, it ain't warm. I wouldn't.
I'm about to say that's some shit right there.
Yeah, no, that's that uptown boogie.
You got the gallon? You got the gallon of Taylor Port over there?
Yeah, I do. We and it's light too.
Yo, look at that. It's light. You ran through that. Hey man, that's crazy.
It's light too. Real light. All right. I was gonna stay with football. We'll go to another one. I thought I had a video. of this joint. Let me see if I can find it real quick. Yeah, here it is. I just never uploaded it. All right, I'll upload it for the next story. We'll go to a different story. So this story is I want y'all to listen to is Darrow Doucette. I'm not sure how you pronounce his last name. Talking about how much better he is than Patrick Mahomes.
At the end of the day, I feel like I'm better than Patrick Mahomes because of my IQ of the game.
All right, we're gonna stop right there, dog.
Why can we skip? Why are we talking about this?
We're gonna stop right there, bro. We're gonna stop right there, doggy.
IQ.
Now, there's been a lot going on about this bull, about what he brings to the game and et cetera, et cetera. Now, let me mind you, see bro right there, TMZ. Shout out to TMZ Sports. I didn't even know TMZ had a sports section or department. Darrow Doucette, I think that's how you pronounce his name. 5'8", 140. Mind you. 140, bro. My son is a buck. And he's 10.
He's 10.
He's 10. You know what I mean? Now I get he a little thick, but he a buck. He a buck, and he's 10. That's a grown man right there. 5'8", 140, talking about better IQ than Patrick. I'm better than Patrick Mahomes.
Hold on, that right there, that statement was low IQ. Like off the bat,
right?
Statement is this low IQ. Like, what are we talking about? Hey. Come on, man. Come on. So go ahead. What was he saying? What are you saying? He plays flag. Okay, so background, he plays for the USA flag football team, right?
Yeah,
so he's
trying to reserve flag football.
Right. So I think a lot of people are very interested and very hyped and excited about 2028 Olympics and the flag football. Being one of the sports that will be happening. I think what's happening now is that these guys have been doing respectfully. These guys that have been playing flag football on this level, I don't even know if it's called professional or not. I don't know if they're getting paid to do it, but on a high level of flag in the flag football culture, he's one of the best quarterbacks, I'm assuming, in that field or sport. Yeah. I think what's happening is these guys are getting a little scared because people are voicing, oh man, can you imagine Patrick Mahomes, Lamar Jackson, Tyreek Hill,
absolutely,
all these guys representing the United States as on a flag football. We had this conversation on our show before. I was actually stating that I think these guys should be the ones to represent because this is almost like their sport.
Hell no.
Right? I get it. I'm just saying. I'm just trying to give them their place. But now, now with new information, my buddy told me that when you have new information, you can reevaluate. Shout out to Teve. With my new information and hearing him say these things, now I'm like, nah, okay, bro.
Hell no. What the hell are we talking about? Man, give me Patrick Mahomes and them Oakley glasses that he always wear out on the field playing flag football. Come on, dog. All day.
So he said he's better than Patrick Mahomes and his IQ, or just his IQ. What was it?
All right, let's start it off from the beginning. Let's recap.
At the end of the day, I feel like I'm better than Patrick Mahomes.
That's all I gotta say. That's all he gotta say right there. Don't matter what the next next statement, the next adjective, the next now, pre-now, whatever you want to call it, direct object, whatever you want to, whatever the next thing he's going to say, it ain't gonna work. It ain't gonna work.
And he might be nice.
Yeah,
he might be.
He might be. Might be
in that sport.
He looked like he had his mom crib though.
Because of my IQ of the game. I know he's right now the best in the league. I know he's more accurate. I know he has all these intangibles. But when it comes to flag football, I feel like I know more than him.
All right.
He might be right though.
He's got a GOAT shirt on.
But at the bottom might be Patrick Mahomes on the bottom.
And Kansas City colors too.
They definitely do. But like, hey, give him his credit. It's a different sport.
It is
right. It's a different sport. So I guess what he's saying, he's been in the flag football era for a long time. I guess working his way, and they want to be represented. Very similar to like the 3v3 in Olympics when we didn't have nobody from the NBA representing the 3v3 basketball. I think Jimmer Fredette was the only one that was representing, but it was a different game.
They said that might go into the Olympics too. I heard
it might what?
That might reach the Olympics. 3-on-3.
They already they did it. They already had it. 3v3 was already an Olympic sport this year.
Well, it was this year.
Yeah,
it was. Was it? What was it? Women and men? I missed the men then. I think I saw women.
Women and men.
Okay. The only reason why I said that because I thought I heard something about them getting with the big three with Ice Cube or something like that.
Yeah, because that's a different 3-on-3. They play a little different. The 3v3 on Olympics were just different, like the quick takeouts. It wasn't like as staged. So what they're trying to do, and Ice Cube's always thinking next level for business wise. He's trying to combine it and trying to see what he can do. Maybe have some, competition between both leagues and see what they can do. So he's very smart, trying to figure it out and trying to build the 3-on-3 marketing legacy, I guess, in their way.
I think he already did. I think it's there
for sure.
Yeah, but
still work.
Yeah, but getting back to this guy's out of his mind. Yeah. I understand he played the game, and maybe he is very good. I didn't look into his numbers. I didn't look at his stats. I don't know where he's at in terms of flag football hierarchy, but we're talking about playing 7-on-7. That's what we're talking about. And these guys play 7-on-7 year in and year out. Like, stop it. Like, you don't have a better IQ. Is the game different? What much different in the game of football is going to be that much different?
No, I get it. I agree with you.
Like,
besides the way you stop somebody with the flags and having to reach down.
He got to throw the ball, bro.
It's more of a quicker game. A lot of skill players.
He got to throw the ball.
He can throw the
ball.
We're
talking about throwing the ball at the end of the day.
100%.
Playing quarterback.
If we're talking the quarterback position, give me Patrick Mahomes. Matter of fact, give me Lamar Jackson. Because I know you can scramble and run around all day back there.
Come on, man. It'd be silly.
So,
like, it would be silly what the team do. And then if you want to switch gears, talk about the Olympics a little bit in terms of, what they're talking about from an Olympic standpoint. Now, I think we talked about this a little bit before about, could they actually do this? They do this in other sports. Could they do it in football? Not 100% sure. But the NFL players should absolutely, I want to see and line up. I played Russia in my high school years. I want to line up against everybody else and see who the F is the best. That's what the Olympics are. To line up in your respective sport and see who is the best of the best. Country versus country, right? These guys get a sense of pride to represent where they're from. I would love to feel that. You know what I'm saying? Like, we could talk smack about how politics and, USA, black folks and stuff like that. But when you put on the colors and you go against everybody else, it's us versus them. You know what I mean? It is, at the end of the day, it's USA versus everybody. When it gets to the Olympics, you are cheering on for the colors that represent where you're from.
So let me ask you, though. Let me play devil's advocate here. Obviously, professional football is professional football. Even on first take, even on Hard Knocks, Caleb Williams said, man, I would love to play in the Olympics for the flag football. That's what he said. He was having a conversation inside one of the meeting rooms. But just imagine that you've been pretty much building this league up, right? You're not a pro. You just start playing flag football.
Yeah.
And you start building you start building this league up and start getting a little notoriety and becomes more important. And your opportunity now to represent the United States in the Olympics is almost there.
Mm-hmm.
And then all of a sudden, here come these pro football players that had nothing to do with flag football. It's like, oh no, we want to play this. Like, how do you I think, are you in reserve mode? Are you trying to be like, or you can be like, oh well, y'all got it, y'all good, y'all take it from here. Or you're gonna be the same way. You can be like, nah, that shit ain't right. Like, we brought it up. We brought this game to the forefront. You know what I'm saying? Like, how do you feel in that moment? That's why I just want to play the devil's advocate.
Yeah, I mean, I feel what he's saying, and I feel what you're saying, and I'm tight. But I'm sorry. I'm sorry, bro. If somebody better than you, then somebody better than you. I mean, a lot of people felt like that when they see Mike show up.
So is it a try? Are you hoping for a tryout? Are you hoping that it'd be a fair? But he's not even going to win a tryout because if it's available, Like you're not gonna have an opportunity because nobody's checking for you.
Yo, nobody cares about 5'8", 140. Like, so I'm sorry.
So
Nobody cares about 5'8", 140, sitting on your mom's couch doing interviews talking about you got more IQ than Patrick Mahomes with a GOAT shirt on. And red too, by the way. Why'd you wear red? You know what I mean? Like, come on, bro. Like, no, man. Like, no. We talking about not only like you got no viewership. Don't nobody know who you are until you mention somebody else's name. You know what I mean? Nobody knew. I gotta look you up. Patrick Mahomes is known on the globe, and that's what we talking about. Global, not residential.
So you gonna lay down? So my question is: you gonna lay down? You gonna lay down?
No, I mean, should he get a fair shot? I mean, sure, yeah, get an invite, right? You know, like back in the day when you know you knew you wasn't gonna go, you're gonna be a preferred walk on, right? Preferred walk on. You ain't gonna get a full scholarship, not a partial, but a preferred walk on. We'll keep our eye on you and make sure. But 5'8", 180.
I mean, he ain't tackling. He ain't got to be tackled or tackle nobody. He only running around. It's flag. He ain't got to do nothing. He can be easily 5'8", 140.
He looked 5'8", 140. I mean, I'm sorry.
We'll see, man. We 4 years away, man. We'll see what's going to happen.
Yeah,
You know, it's the summertime. It's going to be a tough time. Obviously, camp runs into the same time, so it'd be very interesting what the NFL will do in that moment. Do they push the season further back, maybe a week or two, to allow these guys to do that? Do teams that are making a lot of money, do they let their players go out there and represent for the USA? It's a lot of logistics that got to happen for them to be representing in the flag football for the United States.
Absolutely.
The good thing is that it's going to be right there in LA, so it ain't got to go that far.
I agree with I agree with everything you said, bro. Everything you said. All right, we still got football to talk about, and I love it.
Did we talk about the Hornets?
Oh, yeah. You already dropped something.
I just want to make sure we represent. You know what I'm saying?
You already dropped something about the Hornets, man.
Okay, so I'll make sure. I just want to make sure. And do we say to the people that's watching to make sure they like and subscribe, please, no matter who you are?
No, we did. We so into the stories. We didn't even drop that part.
Yes,
we didn't even drop that part because you know the funny thing about is all this, as many people as watch. I looked at it today, bro. Over 2 million views since the channel has started. Over 2 million views watching. That's a lot of people. That's a lot of people. And when you think of things like that, when you're not even chasing the bag, you're not even like we do it because we like it. We do it because
just having conversations.
Yep.
You
know what I mean? Conversations that we would have on the phone regularly. We just put a camera in front of it.
Yep.
And people like it. So love all the interaction, love everybody doing it. And you know, small plug, we got hats, all kinds of stuff. We got shirts, more than sports betting. Let me see what else I got. You know what I mean? I'm not done with y'all yet. You know what I mean?
Ooh, that's for the
busy making parlays. What else I got?
That look like merch for the ladies that watch too. Like they can, you know what I'm saying? So even for the ladies.
Where the other joint at, bro? Damn, how'd I get over there? Yeah, got me tripping.
Well, that port will do that.
That port got me tripping. But best believe new merch is on the way. We'll get the website going. It's down right now, but
support your boys.
Definitely get with us. Everything we do is free, from the stories, the content, the picks. Make sure you subscribe, like, follow, do all that good stuff because college NFL season is here. If you're a big NFL and college football bettor, you need to be in tune and stay in because we're giving you up-to-date stats, up-to-date live analytics, and free picks all the time. If somebody telling you they got 90% picks, they ass is lying. 90% win rate, ass is lying. Trust me. And if they got 90%, guess what they doing? They selling you picks. You know what I mean? We keep it rolling stat. I was over 60% last year. I looked at it already, bro. I was over 60% last year. My NFL plays. Believe it or not, you were at 60 percentile in college as well. You know what I mean? So we was cooking with grease last year. We're going to continue to do that. Been doing it since summer 16, not stopping. Season 8 on the way. Let's go.
Can't wait.
All right. Let's keep open with some more controversial type stories, man. Mr. Tua, Mr. Flores. A lot going on in this story. Let's take a listen to the interview that Tua did, and then when he opened up about his experience with Brian Flores and the Miami Dolphins for those 2 years.
To us the difference in practical terms between having a coach who did believe in you the way that he did and the difference between that and what was happening with Flores.
Yeah. Well, to put it in simplest terms, if you woke up every morning and I told you you suck at what you did, that you don't belong doing what you do, that you shouldn't be here, that this guy should be here, that you haven't earned this right, and then you have somebody else come in and...
All right, let's stop right there with the first statement before he goes to McDaniels. Now, we both played football. We both played football at a high level. We didn't make it. We had our shot. We had our pro opportunities, but if you didn't know, only 1% of college athletes make it, and we weren't part of that 1%. Just kind of like the top 1% in finances, where a lot of people in that joint. Only select few, and we didn't get a chance to make it. But we've been around NFL pro players. We played against NFL pro players, high school and college level. So we have an understanding of football as a whole, just obviously not at the pro level. However, during this journey, because we've been playing for so long, we've run into coaches like Brian Flores. And we run into good coaches, hard coaches, tough love coaches, coaches that put you down, coaches that tell you ain't shit, coaches that bring you up, coaches that are father figures for those who don't, like myself, single mother household. I think you're kind of similar in that regard too, as well, if I'm not mistaken. So, what do you think, or what do you feel? Because I know Hawaiians are really innatured in their family, right, and that positivity and bringing each other up. What do you feel about what he's saying about Brian Flores? Brian Flores actually obviously had a statement too. They asked about him. He told me wish him luck, wish him all in his good endeavors, did all the political statements he needed to say. And I'm worried about the Minnesota Vikings and not the Miami Dolphins. But he didn't deny it, right? He didn't deny it.
He actually did say that, he hopes that he doesn't do that in the future. He did take it. He took the criticism. He stood up there a long time, answered the questions. And he said, he didn't know that was happening. He didn't know that he felt that way. And he hopes that he doesn't do that in the future. So he's learning from it. So Brian Flores took the high road and definitely went forward with it.
Do you think that? So Brian Flores is from the Belichick tree.
Yeah.
Do you think this is a Brian Flores thing or something from the Belichick tree that he got on how to coach players and try to push players to greatness, but just in a different way? Or is this just Brian Flores? Because I think I was looking more into this. Brian Flores was a big Herbert fan and wanted Herbert at the time, but the owner decided to go with Tua.
Yep.
And instead. So do you think this is bitterness? Because obviously it's a night and day statistical detail of how much better Tua is with McDaniels versus Brian Flores.
Yeah, when I first seen this clip, listen, I'm not a person that like to talk shit like this. I mean, listen, he has every right to feel the way he feels, and maybe he does feel bitter, if that's the word you want to call it. Does this need to be shared that way? Is there ways you could have put that and then kind of just make it seem like Brian Flores was this guy like you explained him to be, right? I don't know if you had to do that. because you done moved forward. Your career is moving forward. You just got the bag. There's no need to go back to talk about Brian Flores at the end of the day. So when I first heard it, I'm like, all right, bro. But then when I realized, as I start thinking about it and thinking about his background, like you mentioned before, like he was very obviously the Hawaiian culture is very family first, support and that build. Now I can kind of get a different opinion about why he felt so strong about it to express it. Obviously, he was asked a question.
And Tua's been probably so good his whole life. He's never been put down like that.
And that's where the caveat came, is like he haven't experienced that, so he kind of probably obviously projected into his play and his confidence and certain things like that. So is it a Flores thing? I think it is more of a Flores thing. I think he has to learn how to coach certain players, and you got to know your room. You got to know who you got coming in. You got to do your research. You do all the research, right? I'm sure they know everything. They knew Tua's blood type, right? Like, so you got to respectfully understand what kind of player he is that you need to coach. You can't coach everybody the same way. Me, you could probably do that. I just come from a different culture where the hard coaching, the letdowns motivated me to kind of dig myself and put myself up. Some guys don't come from it. Some guys come from a lot of pats to the backs and the rubs on the shoulders and, hey, buddy, it's okay. Don't worry about it. And they prevail through that. So for me, I think I can push forward through a Flores type coach, which is why he's probably he is a defensive coach, not an offensive coach, right?
Yeah.
So you need a different approach with defensive players, because defensive players are attacking. They have to be aggressive. They have to be leading with force and domination, versus more of an offensive player that needs that type of support of next play. Oh, don't worry about it. Let's keep it going, especially at the quarterback position. I think Flores made a mistake in that with the way he coached him and was way Tua explained it. I think he's going to learn from it. He said he did. He said he has. Now that he's been open to that criticism from Tua, so hopefully that translates into this next generation, because I feel like we have more of these type of character players than you have the harder, tougher mindset players from the older times. So yeah, that's my opinion and thought on it.
No, I feel you. All right, let's finish up the interview and how we finish it off with Mike McDaniels.
Tell you, dude, you are the best fit for this. Like, you are accurate. You are the best. Whatever. You are this. You are that. Like, how would it make you feel listening to one or the other? You see what I'm saying? And then you hear it, regardless of what it is, the good or the bad. And you hear it more and more, you start to actually believe that. I don't care who you are. You could be the president of the United States. You have a terrible person that's telling you things that you don't want to hear, or that you probably shouldn't be hearing. You're going to start to believe that about yourself. And so that's sort of like what ended up happening. And it was, I mean, it's basically been, 2 years of training that out of not just me, but, a couple of the guys as well that have been here since my rookie year all the way till now.
We all had the same reaction to that.
I'm not going to listen to their reaction. It's our reaction. I think he opened up a little bit. I think that, like you said, the question was asked and he answered it honestly. Brian Flores didn't deny it. Self-reflection about, like, almost the whole Tom Brady thing we just talked about. Football's changing and the players are changing, and the hard coaching, that the not negativity, but the hard coaching that, like you said, when something negative was said, the individual would find a way to use that as fuel to get better. That's not happening now, right? That negativity is now bringing that person down, bringing the negativity into their mindset and affecting their performance out on the field in this case. Very similar to myself with my son. He had issues with emotional type stuff, and I couldn't parent him the way I was parented because that's what I was doing. But I couldn't parent him the way I was doing in that hard, tough parenting because it wasn't working. I had to figure out positive reinforcement and kind of celebrate his wins more, even though he might have some losses along the way. And I think that sounds like kind of similar what was happening with Tua, especially with his background coming from Nick Saban, coming from Bama, coming from all that high-end Heisman winner, being the best of the best pretty much your whole life. I mean, he was a freshman, bro. And Hurts had to sit on the bench.
Rookie.
And he went and won the national championship.
Yeah.
His freshman year.
Mhm.
Like, that's crazy. You know what I'm saying? And then win the Heisman too while you're like, come on, man, get drafted too. Like, that's, a lot of dignity, a lot of self appreciation for him and his family and stuff. So just tough. That's a tough spot to be in. But I think that he showed growth, he showed manhood by opening up and talking about those trials and tribulations and showing, even though he was emotional, it's probably still emotional time for him, for sure. Going into work knowing that you don't like you relate, knowing that you don't like your boss, and your boss tells you, I don't give a shit that you don't like me. I don't like you either. I don't even want you here, but we got to work anyway.
Yeah, I think it's tough. I think with him and between Flores and Mike McDaniels, obviously his schemes, right? Like the schemes are just totally different. I think Justin Herbert probably would have fit the scheme for Flores. This is why he really wanted him. And for Mike McDaniel's offense, to be able to kind of surround him like he did in Alabama with fast players around him like you have now, like he'd had the same way he had in Alabama. You know what I'm saying? So the schemes fit. That's why I think Mike McDaniels think he's just perfect for the system. He can get the ball out quicker than what Flores was probably doing, and that's why he wanted Herbert, because Herbert is more your steady in the pocket, read, going to his third option, where Tua, he gonna give you maybe one or two reads, and he gonna let that ball go. So I can get the frustration on both sides. Flores is supposed to be the adult. Flores is supposed to be the coach. He's supposed to coach up that quarterback much better than that. We're here now. They both are doing what they're going to do. Hopefully, Flores does get another opportunity. I think he deserves it. I think a lot of times, black coaches don't get the opportunity the second time around. So I do hope that Flores do get that opportunity again. I think he kind of did his job.
Burned his bridges, especially.
I hope he didn't. You know what I'm saying? But time passes. This has been a couple years now since he's been out of Miami. I think he did come up on the podium and say he learned his lesson. He didn't deny it didn't happen. He took it and said, hey, I don't want nobody to think that. I don't want nobody, he said, and I quote, I don't want nobody else to think that way about me. So it's the right thing to do. You all got to grow. And I think hopefully at this moment he did grow.
Yeah, I agree. All right. We got
Tua's still some shit though.
We still got a couple people out here on the late night. Appreciate all y'all for locking in, joining us. Make sure you hit that like, hit that subscribe, hit that follow, all that good stuff. For our last story of the day, hitting those pockets, man. And I'm not talking about us. I'm talking about everybody else. If you want to watch football, $2,000 to watch football, bro. Look at this. This is the breakdown. If you want to watch football on everything, all right, maybe not $2,000, but still $1,400. $1,400 to watch football. This is where we at. Local games, $75 a month. ESPN Plus, $11 a month. Peacock, $6 a month. Amazon Prime, $9 a month. Netflix, but I'm not sure. Is any games going to Netflix? They got games now on Netflix?
I guess so.
$7 a month. And Sunday Ticket with Red Zone.
That's crazy.
Is $740, bro, for the year.
That's supposed to be every game, right? Because they just sued them. They just sued them to get every game. Is that right? Is that what happened?
I guess. Yeah, I don't know.
So Sunday Ticket had a big, I guess, a suit against them because they started going navigating these games to certain streaming sites, and then that means that Sunday Ticket wouldn't have the games. So it's kind of a breach of the contract. You know what I'm saying? Because Sunday Ticket's supposed to have all the games. But either way, $739. It's crazy.
So that actually is $62 per month. for that. So when you break it
give
down,
me red zone. Give me red zone and cable, and I'm straight.
So you said reds. So out of these, you're picking red zone and cable.
Well, red zone comes. I got to pay extra couple dollars for red zone on my cable. That's about it. That's only.
Oh, okay.
That's only whatever 6 months out of the
Oh,
year.
so you still have actually cable.
I have cable. Yep. But I also have benefit because I'm already subscribed to majority of these other besides ESPN Plus. I'm subscribed to everything else. So
okay.
At the end of the day, I'm already paying it.
Yeah, I think almost every family has Netflix at this point.
But I'm just not a fan of all these streaming because the announcers be kind of trash. It's a lot of adjusting. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're used to hearing football one way from certain announcers. You're if it's a Fox game, if it's an NBC game, if it's an ABC game, you're like tuning in to not just the football game, but how the game is being presented.
Right.
Sometimes we get the Thursday night games on prime television. And I'm like, who's announcing? Who is that? The game sounds corny or boring. It's always a boring game. So it's more the layers than just the game, but it's still crazy that we got to do all this just to watch football. But hey, they taking advantage, man. They just taking advantage of the opportunities.
It's just
talk about capitalism.
Yeah, it's just more money that's coming out. I mean, we already know this is why we do the show, how much gambling is a fact. Shout out to ML Football too as well. I got this from ML Football on Twitter, so good stuff from them. If you guys want to give them a follow, go ahead. But I think just with the money that what football is generating, because remember this business, it is a business at the end of the day, year over year makes money. And more people are watching it. And now with some of the global things like the Eagles going over to Brazil to play the Green Bay Packers, football is starting to go global, and those markets are starting to get tapped into, where you're going to see a lot of people who are from that country over there with merch, jerseys, et cetera, et cetera. It's getting crazy. And then let's not forget about fantasy. I just saw something where fantasy is getting baked into, I think, Red Zone or something. So now when you log in the Sunday Ticket with Red Zone, I believe you can log into your fantasy too, and you'll get a breakdown within the game of your fantasy players that are playing, so you can get an update in the game and not so much your phone, like we all are so used to doing. So, I mean, these prices are just going to keep going up, in my opinion.
Yeah, I agree.
You know what I mean?
Until something happens, but yeah.
Yeah, and the integration of fantasy is smart. It keeps a lot of people into it. And, I think the gambling aspect of it, because, you see your FanDuel, you see your DraftKings sponsorships everywhere. I think once they start to add that into it, like, you're going to get the full experience. Where you're watching TV and you're watching a game, you don't even have to go to your phone. You can make bets while you're watching the game live. I think that's where they're going to head to. And it's going to be a real interactive type deal. Not only you're enjoying the game, but you're enjoying fantasy, betting, all that within encompasses in a full experience watching TV. And don't let them get to the, to like wearables, right? How they have like Google, the VR sets and stuff like that, where you can actually feel like you're at the game sitting in a seat. Come on, man. We didn't even really open up Pandora's box with this yet.
Yeah. It's on its way.
It's on its way. Absolutely, it's on its way. So I thought that was an interesting story.
Let me ask you a question too on the side. As you just said, the game is becoming global. So they're trying to expand, and these games will probably be going overseas a little bit more often. Obviously, now we're going to South America. This is that game was scheduled as the Eagles home game, correct?
Correct.
So now we lose the Eagles home game. Is that correct?
Correct.
How do you feel about that as a season ticket holder? I know you have tickets or access to tickets for seasons. Do you feel, because I'm sure those prices don't go down.
Well, no, the prices don't go down. And this year, my guy didn't give me the season tickets. So I do not have season tickets
this
year. So kind kind of lunched on me. He kind of disappeared on me. I'm assuming he sold him to somebody else. Whatever the deal might be, to each his own. Again, I understand it's a business. Communication would have been obviously good. Just let me know what you're doing. Don't leave me on the hook. But if I had season tickets this year, yeah, I'd be tight. Because I'm saying I'm paying the same price.
Saying the same price.
But I'm not getting what I'm used to getting in terms of a home ticket.
Right, you lose a whole game. It's only how many games? Game. Only 8 games. You only get 8 games, right?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So now it's down to 7.
Yeah.
And that's games that you may or may, run into some time. You know what I mean? Like, yeah. So anyway, I just wanted to know what your opinion was. Obviously, maybe they'll come around. This Philadelphia football tickets, I don't know how long the list is, the waiting list. I know it's years on the waiting list to actually get season tickets. But
yeah, it is. And they're expensive now. Numbers are going up. And then it's like it's a perfect time to have season tickets. Right? Because they're built for the next 2 or 3 years, pretty much. You know what I mean? So
we'll see, man. I'm the way this preseason went, the way that we did not give Jalen Hurts. I know he's been doing well. He threw his only interception through camp. But I'm like, bro, I wanted to see him get at least a rep. I wanted to see him get at least a drive. People say, well, we can't risk it. Man, fuck all that. The last time I saw Jalen Hurts, we was on a 6-game skid. Right? 6. Right? 11. We was 11-1.
Yeah.
So I don't care about none of that. You got a whole new center in front of you. You got new pieces around you. Like, I need to see you get some reps in preseason. Everybody else did. Patrick Mahomes got some reps, I believe. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on, guys. So that means our preseason. I know I didn't mean to get on the Eagles train for a second, but that means our preseason is going to start week 1 in Brazil.
Yeah.
Make that make sense to me. And then we got to go play Atlanta, right?
Yeah, Atlanta. I think Atlanta had a lot of injuries, but I think still Atlanta quietly is a contender.
It could be an opportunity for us to possibly lose that game too. I think in Atlanta, right?
I'm not sure. Maybe. You got to tune in to the show. You know what I mean? We'll break that down.
I don't want to stress out no more. But football's back, as you can hear it in my voice.
Yeah. Can't wait.
Let's get it.
Yeah,
But it starts with this on Sunday.
No, it doesn't. Put that shit down.
It starts with these boys on Sunday.
No. It starts with these boys. More than sports betting, baby.
That's true. That is true.
Get this out the way. More than sports betting, baby. New merch along the way. We will get that set up hopefully before the football season. I'm still working on that, but orders will be popping. Sold out of everything I've ever had, from shirts, from hoodies, from hats. You know what I mean? We appreciate y'all. Appreciate y'all showing love, showing support. It's to us, it's like a tip, right? We give out free picks, we give out free bets, and you guys buy merch. So, and you subscribe to the channel and you watch. So I love it. For myself, I am Moss Money. That's my guy, Be Humble. This is Gambling Nights. We will see you guys next week on Wednesday. Make sure you look out for our week 0 best bets and our future picks on all the NFL futures, from wide receivers props, running back props, etc. Any bets that we have, you should see that be dropping off tomorrow into Friday, and then we will have our first bets of the season ready to go. And as you know, we keep a rolling count. We will keep our stats up, and we will share that live as well. 60% for me, 60% for that guy in college football. You already know what it is. This is Gambling Nights. This is Money Pop Betting. Have a good night, everybody.